Hey, thank you for being here. My name is Flavilla Fongang, and I'm glad that you clicked and want to know more because I'm going to give you some amazing information that you can learn about how to attract and convert more prospects and also investors. And this is a webinar that I put together specifically for tech startups. And if you are one, please keep on watching. I'm gonna share a lot of information with you, and we're gonna move into the slides so I can show you what we're gonna talk about. Are you ready? Okay, let's do this. So let me move into the slides so we can go and start this presentation properly. So as I explained, we're gonna talk about how to attract more investors and more customers using our DAC system. So this system, we've been using it for a very long time and is so effective. And I'm going to show you how you can do it for yourself. So there's no secret. I'm not going to hide anything from you. I'm going to tell you everything so you can get it done yourself, or even if you want, you can decide to work with me. So I guess first thing first, quick introduction in terms of who we are. We're an award-winning branding and marketing agency. So this is our face. So welcome. So we work predominantly with tech companies. I'm going to tell you more about that. And we help them really articulate beautifully, their uniqueness. And so they can distribute themselves, but also attract and therefore convert more clients, but also investors. So what you're going to discover today is how to attract more investors, how to attract more customers, therefore how to build as well a brand that people can find and believe is credible. I think that's the most important thing. Some brands can charge enormous amount of money. Some brands can't. So which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the one that charges more? Then you are in the right place. Stay with me. And we're also going to talk about how to scale. So when you build a brand with value, you can scale more effectively. So really, when you look at the tech space, tech companies are not doing really, really well. Only 5% of tech companies make it to their fifth year. As we see the numbers on Bloomberg, I haven't invented anything. So if you are interested in being among the 95% that survive, stay with me. So this is, as again, I keep repeating because it's super important, and I don't want you to waste your time. If you're a startup founder, if you're a managing director of a startup, stay with me because this is really great information I'm going to share that we're going to help you get to where you really want to be. Okay. And I guess it's not for you if you're not interested in scaling. It's not for you if you're not interested in getting more customers. You're happy with what you're getting right now. I guess probably just like see me, which I would accept and understand. If you're not looking for investment, one or the other, if it doesn't correspond to what you're looking for right now, stop watching. If it is, stay with me. I'm going to keep going on and I'm going to provide you my D.A.C system that will work really well. I guess I want to give you a bit of a start in terms of what we've done with some of our clients and where they were before they used our D.A.C system. So before specializing in the tech space, we used to work in a number of sectors from energy, luxury, fashion. As you can see, I'm a fashionista. And a lot of sectors, and this is one of our clients, which was in the energy sector. So they came to us because they were trying to really secure and build their credibility to, when you want to work with the government, you have to showcase that you are credible and you are professional. But most importantly, you also need to have key partners because without these key partners, you don't have access to people of interest. And so this is where we were, as you can see from the design of the website. And this is where we ended up doing with them. So really help them articulate, the position you write. But I'm going to explain in more details what the D.A.C system is about. But I want to talk more into about the outcomes because that's super important. So within 6 months, they secure a contract with the government of Nigeria, but also the government of Cameroon, which is quite big if you think about it. Yes, but also they increase the number of strategic partners. As I explained to you, strategic partners are so important when you're trying to get access to government representatives. So I'm really proud of what they've achieved, and this is, again, I say, is part of the D.A.C system. So really, when if you've ever worked in Africa, but it helps to have your place and territory in these two countries like that, because then you can expand. And I think that's something that is so fantastic, and I'm happy about what they've done for such a small business. So yes, that's one example. Another example of another client. This client is most specialized in 3D creation, 3D. So that's a tech company, but in 3D modeling for the retail sector. And the problem that they were having is that they were extremely talented, but again, something I mean, that's probably one of the biggest problems technology companies have is that they're very intelligent, but sometimes they don't know how to speak normal. So we need to speak in terms of benefits and values, and we really help them articulate that through, visualization, storytelling, and examples, and so forth, which was a great result, again, a great result for them as well. And they were able to achieve fantastic expansion, not only in the UK territory, but also in Germany and Lebanon. Again, I'm talking about before, without the DAC system I'm going to share with you, and after the DAC system, to get an example. So that's pretty great. I mean, I don't know if you are interested in moving to new markets, which is quite difficult, especially, I've worked in Africa, I've worked in the Middle East, and you have to know how to do it the right way because the rules are not always the same. Most of the time, they're not the same. So again, this is some great feedback as well from the client. I've only took one paragraph because they gave us literally that. So three colors will stood out in many ways, including their willingness to understand, push their knowledge beyond their means, and adapt to an extremely challenging messaging problem we were been encountering. That says a lot, especially when it comes from the founder itself. So you wonder, who's this girl? Want to talk about technology? If you don't know who I am, my name is Flavilla Fongang, and you probably have seen me on TV already. I'm the brand strategist for the BBC, so I give some advice, really short advice for technology companies, which is super helpful. And I run Three Colors, the award-winning branding agency. So we do branding and we do marketing. So I'm also known as an international speaker, so I speak on big stages, small stages, and really people are fun. So my style is very much entertainment, so entertain and educate at the same time. So I want people to have fun, but at the same time learn something. And for me, it's important to just inspire people to do something great. So as you can hear from my accent, I'm born French, and I came to London 17 years ago without speaking a word of English, and here I am trying to help you get to where you want to be. I think this is the beauty of life, and I hope you carry on joining me on this journey. Join me on this journey. Let me say that. So this is me recently at the French President House, La République, as they call it in French, with meeting the French president, but also the Ghanaian president, talking about business affairs. And I was very pleased to be invited to this important moment. Basically, I'm trying to say that I'm a person of interest. This is some of the companies that I work with. So some are well-known, some are quite small. But we even Facebook, even NHS, Weasley, Holiday Inn, KVK, Joseph, and a few Crown Plaza hotels. So before specializing in technology, we worked across a number of sectors and decided that there was a bigger need for what we do in the tech space. And as you can see as well on the right-hand side, we have 5-star reviews. You can Google us and you see it. We have a lot of good 5-star reviews, and I've got over 45 recommendations on my profile myself. So I know what I'm doing, and look forward to sharing with you some amazing information that you can apply for your business. And as you can see as well, we often featured a number of newspapers. BBC is one of them, but also Bloomberg and The Guardian and many more. So far, so good. And if you are in the tech space, you probably know this man called Rush, who is the founder of Tech Week, which happens every year, which is a pretty big deal in the UK. And so I founded the Black Women in Tech Network, so one of the subgroups from Tech London Advocates. And my group was launched in September 2019. And we are, as today, we are just under 400 members, which is super exciting. So if you want to join Black Women in Tech, you don't need to be a Black woman. You can join us. We're all about exclusivity, we're all about we're about being inclusive, not exclusive. That's how I'm supposed to say it, not the other way around. And if you're familiar with my voice, you probably listen to my podcast called Tech Brands Talk, and you can find me on Spotify, but also on iTunes. So Tech Brands Talk, pretty much conversation with people who work with tech companies, experts, and also people who run tech companies and provide the advice and their mistakes, their failures, and flaws, and everything else that you can learn from, which is the point of this podcast. So yes, so this is really brief introduction in terms of who I am, and I really wanted to do that to really understand why I can talk about that, because I've worked with a number of companies and I've seen companies die, some companies thrive, and all sorts of companies, and quite often it comes to this application of that system that I'm going to share with you. Okay, are you ready? All right. So the DAC system is in 3 phases. With first phase, D stands for distinguish. So this, and it's very important that it's done in this specific order. And that's also why a lot of companies fail, because they don't follow the order. So the first phase is brand strategy. The second phase is brand identity. And the third phase is marketing, digital, and sales. So let's say, for example, you are launching your sales campaign, but you haven't clarified what is your positioning, how you're going to differentiate yourself, then you're not going to convert. Pretty much simple as that. Same thing, you have a fantastic brand, but you're not marketing or prospecting enough, well, you're not going to get enough clients. Or you have a great strategy, but your strategy is not aligned to your identity, then people are going to be confused. Are you luxury? Are you luxury? Are you low cost? This is where it goes wrong. So if you apply the DAC system, which is first distinguish yourself, then be attractive, and then convert, you are likely to become a brand that's going to thrive and do really well. And the biggest mistake I see when it comes to strategy, people are too scared to be specific and choose a niche market. It takes much more effort to focus on more than one sector, and especially when you're starting business, you don't have a big budget, so you have to be an expert and choose your sector. Okay, when you have that, you can decide exactly how your brand is going to be portrayed. What is the personality? What's going to be, how you're aligning? So understanding your colors, what colors go with your industry and so forth, what font, all the details. Again, the reason why you see the brand on the right-hand side is because we use in the creation of those, in the creation of the development of these 3 phases, we use a lot of neuroscience, which is the subconscious part of our brain that has the biggest impact on our decision process. So if you don't understand that, that can become a problem and you wonder, why am I not converting? So I'm going to show you a couple of examples for each phase, what you can apply right now and quite quickly. And again, same thing, when you understand who your market is, who do you want to attract, you can choose the right channels to advertise, to prospect, and do it the right way. And again, I'm talking from example where I've applied that before, and that's the reason why I explained that in the past, we used to work on a number of companies, and now we specialize working more specifically with technology, because we want to be the expert in this field, and we're doing really well. So let me guide you through the first phase. So the first phase, as I mentioned, is called distinguish. Distinguish, as I explained, you need to know exactly what makes you unique. And sometimes people make assumptions. Actually, no more than sometimes. Often people make assumptions. And I don't want you to be one of these person who make assumption and get it wrong, get it right the first time. Be clear. And the best way to do it is obviously first to do a market research. Don't make any assumptions. So what price? Are you going to differentiate yourself on price, which is probably the worst one to pick unless you are a big player? Obviously, on product innovation, most technology companies are obviously innovative. So innovation is pretty much a token. Is it on brand experience? Are you going to create an experience that people will remember? This is unique to you. Is it going to be on expertise? Are you the only one who has managed to really develop what we call artificial intelligence? Are you really the only one who's managed to combine the real meaning of blockchain? Okay, I'm making things up right now, but just to show some example. Was it on values? Are you aligning the value of the technology based on what people are looking for right now? So it can be veganism, climate change, or God knows what it is. But the more specific in terms of where you want to be perceived and where you want to be a leader will help you get to where you want to be. And it's very important that you align your positioning with what the market needs. Because if the market doesn't need what you want, who's going to buy? Nobody. Yes? So that's super important. So the question you need to ask yourself, I guess, is who do you serve? So it means that you need to pick who you want to work with. And after that, you need to decide to ask yourself why and how your services or products are different from the competition. So if you don't know why you're different, so how are you going to be able to articulate yourself? So I'm going to give you a bit of a sentence, a template, a sentence that you can use. Even you can use it for your website. You can use it especially when you're networking to explain in a very simple manner what you do will give you a sense. So that's your positioning statement. So our company, your name, serves client, give specific terms of who do you serve by providing list a couple of services. Don't say all of them if you have too many. And then we are unique. Why? So you need to know your unique selling points. What makes you different from everybody else who's offering the same thing? Yes? And then after that, you can really just articulate the benefits. Benefits are so important. And I see a lot when I have technology companies, they love to tell me about the process. This is how it works. Yeah, that's not enough. People want to know exactly what's the value you're offering. How are you going to bring convenience to my life? This is what you really want to articulate. When you have that, This is where the magic happens. Okay, so you can obviously watch this again, write it down. This is going to be a power sentence. If you don't engage people with that sentence, I'll be very surprised. So looking at these two brands, they're obviously not in technology, but if you look at these two brands, would you be able to say what's the difference? They both serve the same market. I mean, they both offer the same product, it's trainers. But what is the difference? The difference is one is focused more on athletic and pushing yourself, or really focusing on achieving greatness. So people want to be real athletes. And the other one is much more focused on fashion sports. People who don't really exercise but want to look cool. So whether you're a Nike person, whether you're Adidas, you need this is exactly the same product, but the positioning is completely different. And again, that's what I'm trying to articulate. You need to know who is in your market and can be direct or indirect competitors. And then you need to define exactly what will make you unique and be very specific, but also your uniqueness needs to be aligned with what the client, what the market needs. If you don't have those two aligned, then you have nothing. Or sometimes you can be quite too early in the market. Yes. Let me give you an example again of a client of ours. So this is Amadeus. Amadeus came to us. So again, something you look at the three phases. So Amadeus was very much focused on sales. We were selling hardcore. But when you get to the website, we were, oh, I don't want to review. What is this? This website is terrible. I must say, I think they use one of these sites that you can find online from GoDaddy or whatsoever, and this is the result, what you get. So we work with them and really try to understand exactly what they've achieved, and we need to understand exactly who are their customers, and understanding, the process of decision of the customers help us create a brand which has much more meaning, but also an emotional intelligence. So let me show you this is where we were before, this is where we are now. So we chose very strong colors, but also what was important is we focused on what was the trigger of decision making in the process of the buyer. And again, using colors that are associated with passion, strength, and loyalty, again, something your subconscious understanding before even your rational mind understand it, was very powerful. What was also very interesting with Amadeus is that the fact that we worked with them on their pricing psychology. So the way we price their packages helped them increase the value of each purchase by 50%, which was an amazing result. They managed to grow now nationally across the UK and have done really, really well. So I'm really proud of them because it's a really great company. Again, great feedback, and it's probably one of the clients I recommend us the most because he's really happy with what he has achieved. We always, I always tell people about the impact, the rebrand, and the fabulous job you guys have done. And that makes us so proud. I think we are very clear in terms of who we choose to work with. I think that's super important. We have to fall in love with that brand that we work with. When we have that, we can put all the energy and passion that we need to really help them get to where we want to be. Phase number 2, remember, was D.A.C for attract, which obviously comes down to your presentation. Yes, this is a perfect example of where design visual presentation is so important. This is 2 cups of coffee. One has the logo of Costa Coffee, and one has nothing on it. One makes a difference. It's a logo, because people buy brands. When we face too many choices, we go for what we know. And again, brands justify your ability to charge more and premium price. So you have to decide, again, something especially in the technology is probably different, but do you want to be a commodity, or do you want to be a brand that actually lead the market and define exactly the directions that people want to go? So this is, again, so important. And the way you choose your brand, your colors, here's an example, you have to align really much with the personality that you want to showcase, but also the industry where you are. So let me give you an example so you can see from the slide, whether you want to be more freshness, currency, or maybe, let's say, biotech. If you are in renewable energy, then you choose much more natural colors. If you are more in the low cost, you can choose a certain orange, works more for that. If you want to present much more stability or intelligence, obviously the neutral, the blues work much better. If you want to be more passionate, dramatic, fire up, and bring some emotion in your brand, then you choose much more warmer colors. Yes? So that's very important to understand that, and a lot of people get it wrong. But what's very important as well in technology, you have to understand that there are different fonts for different sector. So the fonts that you choose in luxury will be very different from the font that you choose in the technology sector. So choose brand colors that align with your brand values. Okay, another example of clients. So this client is a tech company, social tech company, so an app that allows people to connect using the app. So what's very, very funny about this, actually it's not funny, but what I want to say is that the way they started the business, Guy Catch, was a Danish company, and they created mainly for tourists who will come to Denmark and want to basically meet locals. So that was the purpose, that was the original idea of the app. The app then ended up being an app much more focused for locals who ended up actually using it to meet one another, which is interesting. I wish I changed the name, but we didn't change the name. But we still we decided to work with them on their brand expansion. So we really wanted to seek to increase the number of users of the app, and but the way we were presenting it to them wasn't super appealing, and there was not really so much of an emotional campaign behind it. So we really work with them in terms of, if you look at brands such as Coca-Cola, they really focus on one feeling, and with them it was about, we use the same feeling, which was also happiness, to really bring that campaign, the idea of connecting with people that you have never met. Connecting people could be around the corner, and living amazing experiences, and that really really worked. Again, something with attraction and really understanding exactly what kind of personality you want to portray. Remember that us as humans, we are creatures who are not rational. So why talk in such a rational way? That's what a lot of tech companies do, and that's probably the biggest mistake that you make. You need to talk from a very emotional, from the heart, and then when you win their heart, then you can talk about something else. Then you can be a bit more rational. It's very important. The result, in 2 months, they're able to actually secure over 50,000 downloads and expand, because they were based in Denmark. Now they expanded across Europe, in the UK, and also Africa. I was really proud of the founder, because the founder was able then now to tell the story across a large conference and stage, and explain the impact. I think what was beautiful about that story, that she was able to make a social impact on human and connection. We know that there is this very strong issue with mental health, and app was able to do something. People who I feel isolated, and maybe that where that they could have never met any other way. So, which is super fantastic. So again, it comes back to working with brands that we really love and can do something different. Phase number 3, I talk about convert. So I love this. This is super important. That's actually a phrase that I studied from one of my mentors, and he said to me, when you talk about their problems, your prospect listen. Yes. So I talk about your problems. That's what you're listening. That's what you're here with me. But when you talk about the solution, your prospects buy. When you get this, it will change your life forever. And this is the biggest mistake I see quite often, when companies, we go to a website, they love to talk about themselves. Like, this is what we are, this is what we do this. Nobody cares about you. They don't know you, so why would you talk about yourself? You need to really articulate whatever it is through just a conversation, as I explained, or a website, that you actually understand the problems that your client is facing. So if you go into our website, you will see that we focus much more on the client first and talking about us. We understand what you're going through, and from that point, that's where we're in a better solution to help you with our very unique solution and our very unique set of skills. But and the second thing that I see when it comes to attraction is people want to try to sell straight away. You can't sell straight away. You have to provide value. You have to showcase that you can do this. You can help support it, because when you give somebody, you provide value before you try to sell, you're more likely to convert. So I'm going to give you an example. So another company I've worked with, and for an exhibition, and it's a chocolate company, so it's not in tech, and a very good company, and there were a number of exhibitors at the event, and I can tell you some. I'll actually the result at the end. So I say we worked to spend a day working just on exhibition strategy, because a lot of companies, they go to exhibition and they don't actually think about the exhibition strategy. How we're going to be able to convert as many people as possible. It's like exhibitions are very expensive, so you don't prepare yourself, you're going to lose a lot of money, because you actually, at least as a minimum, spend about between £3,000 to £5,000 to exhibit. So why not prepare yourself in advance? So we really worked on the preparation. So where we've done it is that we actually put a number of taste of food in front of them on the stand. And the technique was, at the end, people had to choose which one they liked the most. So they had to ask visitors which one they like the most. And at the end, they say, do you want product A or product B? So there was no choice. Everybody had to leave one product or B. Again, we're going to talk about price psychology. That's a technique that worked really, really well. So here's something like try to provide value. Give people to taste. Like, obviously, if you're not a tangible technology, you're not a tangible product, but get people to test either way, or maybe just invite them to a webinar where you can provide knowledge or a demo or anything like that would be the most effective way to actually secure a client. And if you look at all the biggest tech companies in the world, that's what they've done. Uber give you voucher, Dropbox give you free space, HubSpot give you free access to their platform, and you get hooked on it. Then you can't get yourself out of there. That's exactly how it works. Yeah, they want to make sure that before they invest in you, that you can do the work, and when you have that, then you can sell. But what's very important, when you've won a client, you have to maintain that relationship and keep providing and going beyond and doing more than they expect from you. So, for example, my relationship with my tech customers is that I'm always looking for investors. I'm always looking for opportunities to give them a chance to raise capital when they need it. They don't always need it, but if they need it, I would look for the investor that fit their profile. And that's something that I don't have to do, but I choose to do because when they do well, I do well. I hope it makes sense. Yes. All right. I love this quote from Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs said, "People don't know what they want until you show it to them." And again, that's a mistake that a lot of, whatever it is in tech or not in tech, but a lot of tech companies do as well, is that you have to understand the way you package your services have to be done to actually and help your clients resolve or solve their problem. So I'm going to give you a simple example. Yes. So my personal trainer, he said to me, "Okay, so I have to say, well, I'm trying to achieve this. I'm always trying to lose 2 kilos. I am trying to lose 2 kilos at the moment." So he said to me, "Okay, so I have a 10-hour package. I have a 20-hour package. So the more hours you take, the less it costs you." And I say, "Huh?" So, but I don't know what package I need. I said, "Well, take this one." But even him couldn't explain to me. He said, "Take this one to start with," which is probably the worst idea to do it. But if it packages services or is fitness package in terms of solutions, so this is a package for injury, this is a package for losing weight, this is a package for beach body for the summer in 4 weeks. Yes, if it packages services in that way, it would have been to secure not only much more money, but at least people will sign up for a solution and not buy it as a commodity. Again, so you have to think about the same way when you present your service and your packages. Think about the solution your client is trying to achieve, and based on that, you have different packages adapted for different levels. Standard can be affordable, standard, premium, or whatever they want to be. Yes, it's like a flight. When you book a flight to the same destination, but depending on the budget that you have a different experience. So really, really important. So that's what it means. So again, something, offer packages that help your clients reach their ultimate goals. Yes, and that's what it means. You need to understand your customers. That's when you need to pick a niche. When you pick a niche, you know exactly which one you want to serve. Yes, and then you offer packages adapted for their specific needs. So let's look at this example. So you have 3 bottles here. You have 1 bottle at €5. Let me set the scene. You're in Paris. We're having dinner together, business, okay? And these 3 bottles, 1 bottle is at €5, 1 bottle is at €10, and 1 bottle is at €15. Obviously, I can't hear your answer, but which bottle would you pick? Have you chosen? Okay. I bet most of you would have chosen bottle number 2, the €10 bottle, right? Because it's the middle price. It's never too expensive. It's never too cheap. You don't want to come across as, well, I'm a cheap person, or you don't want to come across as, I don't want to spend too much money. Depending on if you have a bigger wallet, then fair enough, let's go for a €15 bottle. And this technique is actually what we call the anchor pricing. So I'm going to show an example. So if in that other case, I just give you 2 pricing, so one is at $10, one is at $30, you probably thought that the $30 bottle was too expensive. In the other case, it's also called decoy price. Give you 3 options, then I give you a $10 bottle, a $30 bottle, and a $50 bottle. The $50 bottle makes the $30 bottle much more expensive. Therefore, this is the price that you're more likely to go for. So this is a technique that you can use. It is a very simple pricing psychology that you can use with your packaging as well. Again, 3 is a magic number, not in a relationship, yes? But 3 is a magic number when it comes to pricing. So always offer 3 options for your client. Don't give 1 option, because then put them in a situation where they have to look for another way to compare elsewhere, where they can compare with what you have put in front of them. So same thing here is an example of how you can do your pricing. So here, get the $25 option, the $49 option, the $75 option. So most people will go for the middle one. Again, it doesn't say here, but you can always say most a popular option, which will have a bigger impact on influencing. This is how you can increase the value of transaction per customer by effective pricing packaging. Yes, hope that makes sense. Another example I wanted to give you is another client size of ours. I love snack. Food snack business is pretty clear. So something they were doing really well, but they had no e-commerce presence. So really trying to figure out exactly how to present their business online. But so again, because they were selling most of their products via retailer, means that the margin was very tiny. And the best way, the most effective way for them to do that was to help them create an online platform, the e-commerce platform, to help them actually increase their margin through direct selling, which is super effective as well. So we really looked at this. Is how our website looked at it before. We didn't have so much more, and really look into full experience where we had. This is what we did. We did like a subscription package, so people can get to more. So when you are in subscription package, you didn't have to re-enter information. Remember, providing convenience, super important. And also we had packaging deals, so you can get for like a bulk order. So we really try to give options for people to buy them as much as possible. So we had a single option, but most people went for either a subscription package or the bulk option of snacks, would work really well. What was interesting at the same time as we were creating this website, I Love Snack was also raising capital for crowdfunding to grow their business. In a space of 1 week, we did 200% investment raise, which was overwhelming, good, but scary at the same time for us. So I'm really proud of what they've done now. You can find I Love Snack in Waitrose. If you go to Waitrose, you will find them. It's online. Emeritus, I cannot pronounce this, Eurostar, Yumbos, Borobox, and other places as well, which is super exciting. So I think now you can also, I haven't listened here, but I heard recently that they're also available at Starbucks. So we're doing really well. So a lot of interesting companies we work with. Again, I want to show you another example of companies. Again, I want to show you like the diversity of companies that we work with. Even though we now work in technology, this is very recent. One of our clients, one of the campaigns that we've done for this client has just allowed them to be shortlisted for an award, which is super, super exciting. So really proud of them. It was a fantastic campaign. We did a pre-launch campaign with them, and they had almost 4,000 subscribers in 2 weeks pre-launch. We were actually having a product created, which was very reassuring when you're a new business. And like, look how they are now. Super exciting. Another client as well who's won an award. She set up a business in less than a year. She was nominated. As you can see, this is Theo Pafitis from Dragon's Den, giving her an award, and we're celebrating together because it's a celebration and champagne. I think we're spread together. You can see her feedback here. Fabulous help. I was sitting my new petite women's wear business, and the enthusiasm around this and support were invaluable. And the design team at Frequency came up with a really elegant and distinctive logo that was perfect for my brand. Again, all these people have applied the D.A.C system. That's where they are now. Again, I have a lot more I can tell you from NatWest, from Crown Plaza, from Gold House, from Clive's Fortune, Northlight Solutions, all these companies. I mean, you can read those on my LinkedIn profile. You can read those on Google as well. There's a lot of them. So this is HSBC. I ran a private workshop for them at their office in Canary Wharf. If you've never been to HSBC office, it's beautiful. So I ran a private workshop for their clients. It went really, really well. You can see her feedback. Flavilla and I've been with her for over 4 years now. She's energetic, as you can see. She's passionate about her work and truly engaging. A recent workshop she ran for my customers went down extremely well. So yes, so is it on my line? I'm telling the truth. I love what I do. Again, here I've done also a HubSpot partner and a talk for the marketing people. It was really well. I talked about your marketing, which is another thing that I'm an expert about. But you can watch one of these videos we have on our YouTube channel or on our website if you're interested in knowing more. So I hope you've got some real information that feel that you have a bit more clarity in terms of how to get your business to the next level. Super, super important. So you have 3 options to take right now. You can realize, well, you know what, I'm going to carry on what I'm doing right now, and I didn't learn anything new. Thank you for wasting my time. I hope it's not the case. You can take option number 2, which is you can get some help and start with booking a free strategy call with me. I will tell you more details what it is about, and you see why you want to do this. Or you can take the learnings and do it yourself. It's up to you. You don't have to say, I don't want to speak with you, Flavilla. I think I can do what I've learned today, or I can take it further. So if you take option number 2, and would like me to show you how you can get more customers and investors, where we're going to have a much more personalized conversation together on one-on-one, and I can give you some quick indication. We're going to cover everything from me trying to understand where your business is right now, and then discuss in terms of strategies you can apply for your business, and then review your identity. How are you presenting your business if you already have done your logo, if you're not, I mean, just not your logo, but or your full brand visual presentation. We'll talk as well about reaching your audience. What can you put in place? What works well? And then how you can implement it, and to do it very well. And then most importantly, understanding how to manage your action. This is obviously free. Just bear in mind that, first of all, I do not have a lot of slots available per week. So if you want this session, you better book very soon, yes. And also that I usually charge £1,000 for this, but I'm doing this, I'm giving you a number of slots, a limited amount of slots for the first come, first serve. That's how it works, that's what life is, the early birds always have priority. So if you're one of them who are quick and easy enough, you don't have to wait too long to have a session with me. And I'm giving you this for free. So we're going to spend some time discussing discovery, strategy, identity, planning, implementation, management together. Yes? There's going to be a link below that's going to appear. So I want you to click on it because I'm going to guide you exactly what you need to do. So as I mentioned before, as you probably see, if you follow me, if we're connected on LinkedIn, or if you connect with me on LinkedIn, and you see that I am a very busy person, so my time is limited, and I charge. Obviously, I don't want you to book if you're not committed to achieving more, or having more customers, or reaching more investors. Do not book if you're not committed. Yes, let's not waste each other's time. Okay, I really want this to be clear. My time is precious, and I want to make sure that if you book, you're committed, so we can do this well together. Okay. So there's a button below when you can book a time. When you have done that, you're going to have to answer a few questions so I can get to know you better. Especially if you have a Gmail account, whatever, please provide me details about your business. And we're all set to start. So you need to click below. Again, as I mentioned to you, I don't have many sessions available. This session is worth £1,000. Okay, I usually charge for that, but I'm giving you a couple of slots available. So you need to book now if you want to find out how can I help you get more customers and have a giggle with me. I'm a lot of fun. Yes. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this session, and I think that's the end. And speak to you very soon. Hopefully, I see you on the other side. Here you go. I'm back. Yes, this is my office. It's very quiet, and yeah, see you very soon.